All over the world, millions of people sit down to a seafood dinner without a second thought. That plate of delicious squid, lobster, or crab didn't just appear out of nowhere. It's the result of incredibly hard work done by some of the toughest people on the planet, fishermen. Their job is more than just a way to make a living, it's a craft that has been passed down for generations. They are the ones who venture out into the vast, unpredictable ocean, often in the dark of night, to bring back the food that feeds our families. This isn't a desk job with a guaranteed paycheck, it's a high-stakes gamble against nature itself. The importance of this work cannot be overstated. Fishermen are a critical link in the global food chain, harvesting millions of tons of seafood every single year. They supply restaurants, grocery stores, and markets from Tokyo to New York, ensuring that people have access to vital sources of protein. Their efforts support entire coastal communities, creating jobs not just on the boats, but also in processing plants, transportation, and sales. Without these dedicated men and women, the world's seafood markets would collapse and a fundamental part of many cultures' diets would simply disappear. It's a demanding profession that requires immense skill, courage, and a deep understanding of the sea. These modern-day hunters of the sea rely on a combination of age-old knowledge and advanced technology. They use sonar to find schools of fish deep below the surface and GPS to navigate to the most productive fishing grounds. Yet, for all the modern tools, the core of the job remains the same. It's about reading the weather, understanding the habits of marine life, and having the physical strength to haul in heavy nets and traps day after day. The work is relentless, often involving long hours with little sleep, far from the comforts of home. The job is also one of the most dangerous in the world. Fishermen face the constant threat of massive waves, fierce storms, and freezing temperatures. A simple slip on a wet deck or a mistake with heavy machinery can lead to serious injury or worse. They operate in an environment that can turn hostile in an instant, where a calm sea can quickly become a churning nightmare. Despite these risks, they continue to head out, driven by a passion for their work and the responsibility of providing for us all. Their resilience and dedication are what make the global seafood industry possible. Catching squid on a commercial scale is a fascinating spectacle of light and machinery. Fishermen on mid-sized boats, typically 65 to 80 feet long, travel to deep waters off the coasts of California or Japan. At night, they switch on incredibly powerful lights that illuminate the ocean's surface, attracting swarms of squid from depths of up to 200 feet. It's like turning on a giant beacon in the dark abyss. Once the squid are drawn near, the crew deploys automatic jigging machines. Each machine can have 20 to 30 flashing lures, called jigs, that drop into the water, snag the squid, and then haul them directly onto the deck in a continuous, mesmerizing cycle. The process is incredibly efficient. On a single 8 to 12-hour night, a boat can bring in anywhere from 2,000 to 6,500 pounds of squid. With prices hovering around $5 per pound, one successful trip can generate tens of thousands of dollars. Once on board, the squid are immediately rinsed with seawater, sorted by size, and packed in crushed ice to keep them fresh. Some larger vessels even have flash freezing systems that can freeze the catch at a bone-chilling -40 degrees Fahrenheit, preserving it for markets around the globe. This combination of clever attraction and automated harvesting allows fishermen to meet the huge demand for this popular seafood. Catching octopus, on the other hand, often relies on a more patient and traditional method. In places like Japan and the Mediterranean, fishermen use the octopus's natural instinct to seek shelter against it. They lower long lines of clay pots, plastic tubes, or even simple wooden boxes to the seafloor. Octopuses, seeking a safe place to hide, crawl inside these artificial dens. After a few days, the fishermen simply return and haul the pots up, often finding an octopus tucked inside each one. This gentle technique is preferred because it keeps the octopus intact and undamaged, which is important for selling it at a premium price. While the pot method is classic, other techniques are also used. Some fishermen set up bottom nets or gill nets near the shore to entangle octopuses as they move along the seafloor. Regardless of the method, the catch is handled with care. The octopuses are rinsed with fresh seawater and immediately placed on ice or frozen to maintain their quality. The United States alone imports and consumes up to 100,000 tons of octopus annually, primarily from Mexico and Spain. This demand creates a multi-million-dollar market, all supplied by fishermen who have mastered the art of outsmarting one of the ocean's most intelligent creatures. In the cold, rocky waters off the coast of Maine, the hunt for lobster is a way of life. This state is known as the lobster capital, supplying over 80% of America's entire lobster harvest. Fishermen use rectangular traps made of plastic-coated mesh, baited with herring or mackerel, to lure the crustaceans inside. These traps are dropped to the ocean floor at depths ranging from just a few feet near the shore to over 200 feet in deeper waters. Each line of traps is marked by a brightly colored buoy unique to each fisherman bobbing on the surface. After soaking for 2 or 3 days, the traps are hauled up using powerful hydraulic winches. Once a trap is on board, the real work begins. Every single lobster must be measured by hand. Using a special gauge, fishermen check the length of the carapace, the hard shell covering the lobster's body. Any lobster that is too small is immediately thrown back to grow bigger. More importantly, any female carrying eggs is also returned to the water to ensure the next generation of lobsters can thrive. Legal-sized lobsters have their powerful claws secured with rubber bands, and are placed in large tanks filled with chilled seawater, keeping them alive and fresh for the journey back to shore. For those who chase king crabs in the frigid Bering Sea off Alaska, the job is considered one of the most dangerous in the world. These fishermen face freezing temperatures that can drop below -4 degrees Fahrenheit, hurricane-force winds, and colossal waves. Ice constantly builds up on the boat and its equipment, and crews must often use hammers to break it off, just to keep the vessel from becoming top-heavy and capsizing. They use massive steel traps or pots that can weigh over 700 pounds each. These giant cages are baited with cod or herring and dropped to depths of up to 650 feet, where they soak for a couple of days. Hauling in a king crab pot is a moment of high tension and great reward. A hydraulic winch groans under the strain as it pulls the heavy trap from the deep. A single pot can hold anywhere from 50 to over 100 massive king crabs. Just like with lobsters, the crew quickly sorts the catch, keeping only the legal-sized males and releasing all females and smaller crabs. The keepers are transferred to holding tanks with chilled seawater. In a single 4 to 6 week season, a fisherman can earn between $30,000 and $50,000, a high reward for an incredibly high-risk job. The life of a fisherman is a constant battle against the elements, requiring a toughness that few people possess. Whether it's a tuna fisherman hundreds of miles offshore, or a crabber in the icy waters of Alaska, their workplace is one of the most unforgiving on Earth. They face the ever-present dangers of sudden storms that can whip up monstrous waves, equipment failures that can leave them stranded, and the sheer physical exhaustion of working around the clock. This demanding lifestyle builds a unique kind of resilience and a deep respect for the power of the ocean, a force they must work with, not against, to make a living and return home safely. Beyond the immediate dangers, modern fishermen also face new and growing challenges. Climate change is causing ocean temperatures to rise, which can disrupt the traditional habitats of many species. For example, the lobster population in Maine has been impacted by warming waters, leading to a 15% drop in landings between 2021 and 2023. This forces fishermen to adapt, venturing into new areas or changing their techniques. At the same time, there is a greater need for sustainable practices to protect marine ecosystems for the future. Fishermen are on the front lines of conservation, often leading the way in protecting the very resource their livelihood depends on. In response to these challenges, the fishing industry is embracing conservation more than ever before. Many fisheries now have strict rules, such as limiting the number of traps a fisherman can use, setting specific fishing seasons, and requiring escape vents in traps that allow smaller, non-target species to get out. These measures are designed to prevent overfishing and ensure that seafood populations remain healthy for generations to come. It's a delicate balance between harvesting enough to meet global demand and leaving enough in the ocean to replenish itself. This commitment to stewardship is a vital part of the modern fisherman's job. Ultimately, fishing is more than just a job. It's a legacy. It's a challenging, often perilous, but deeply rewarding profession that connects us to the natural world in a fundamental way. The men and women who take on this work are not just harvesting food, they are stewards of the sea. They carry on a timeless tradition of providing for others, adapting to new challenges, and navigating the vast, powerful oceans with skill and courage. The next time you enjoy a seafood meal, take a moment to remember the incredible journey it took to get to your plate and the enduring spirit of the fishermen who brought it there.